Life can be big and lonely, but every now and then, we find a place that makes us feel at home, even when it's not technically our home. Unfortunately, some people don't have the luxury of working close to their families. The daily grind is hard, boring, and frankly takes too long, making that little half hour or lunch all the more important. You want to find a place that's fast but not too fast, a place with variety that keeps the second half of the day going, a place that makes you feel like family. So this is the story of a little restaurant that started from the big dreams of one woman to the ambitions of her family and beyond, living proof of the Latino spirit where we work hard, dream big, and celebrate even bigger. This is the story of my favorite restaurant, World Empanadas.
Hi, my name is Danny Archila. For the past 4 years, I've been looking around Burbank for the best restaurant to eat at during lunchtime. And let me tell you something, I've eaten around the block, but no eatery has ever filled my heart or my stomach quite like World Empanadas. We had the pleasure of sitting down with the head of operations, Christopher Hirtz, to ask him what made World Empanadas a great restaurant. So, why don't you come with me to check out what makes this restaurant riquísimo.
Let me just ask you really quickly, what do you feel like makes your food stand out in the realm of Latino American food in Los Angeles?
It's kind of a long story. Parents have always been entrepreneurs. As far as I can remember, we were doing different businesses, salsa businesses, pasta businesses. Once my brother went to Le Cordon Bleu in 2010, he got his culinary degree. We kind of got together and said, let's start a food business. The idea started off with, different aspects, different concepts. Raviolis was one, and we had a few other ones with pasta, but it kind of fell on the empanada.
Why empanadas?
In LA, it's scarce to have an empanada place. I think that we kind of fell upon a niche that was untouched. Just an untapped market in LA.
The whole process of making an empanada, it's no simple method. Speaking of which, you have one of the most impressive menus I've ever seen. Can you tell me a little bit about it?
We started in the back of a little liquor store, and we've grown up to, I think, 19 now.
What are the original varieties?
See. Spinach and cheese, potatoes and olives, sharp picadillo one. We had our dulce de leche, which may make a comeback, our cheese and onion, our spicy potato, and I'm sure we had our Santa Fe chicken. Those were kind of the ones we started off with because a few of those were actually burritos we would make in-house at my mom's. She would make little burritos for us, and my father would make little burritos for us. They didn't really expect it to be home cooking, I guess. It was just completely from our stove to the empanada.
Do you find any of the items have evolved?
The initial idea behind World Empanadas was to allow anything in. Dough was essentially a blank canvas. We used to bring in specials, which were worldwide influence. Now we're working more on brightening up the empanada and making it a little more showy. The ice cream empanada, for example, we're trying to bring in. Some people still talk about the myth of the ham and cheese and jalapeno empanada. It's not necessarily decreasing the quality of it. You just kind of simplify it. You have 19 flavors, kind of to balance it.
Each one of them as amazing as the last. My personal favorite, I believe, is the Santa Fe or the quinoa, the lentil soup. I actually like the lentil soup. It's fantastic, just to pair them off with that. Which are your, I know it's hard to choose favorites, but if you had to...
I guess I have a few. I have the chile con carne, which to me is the best. I kind of tend to take off the dough a little bit, so I'll take off the crust and kind of rip off the dough. I can't eat a whole one. So when you look at the interior of the dough, it's nice and red with the pepperoni in there. That one is a hit. And then the biscuit and gravy is particularly one of my favorites. Rosemary style potato with the gravy.
Wow.
All inside. The biscuit is the bread of the empanada. So, and then the Nutella banana, of course.
That's the weird thing about the empanadas is that they're always going to be somewhat piping warm, and I have to just wait, be patient, be a good boy, wait until it cools off, and then enjoy the meal.
Do you feel a couple minutes? I know it's hard.
And then 2020 arrived. Between social unrest and many tragic events,
now to growing concerns about the deadly coronavirus officially hitting the U.S.
The year was already chaotic by the time March rolled around.
Radical left. Will you shut up, man? Listen, who is on your list?
Not only did the coronavirus take the lives of thousands of people,
The coronavirus disproportionately affecting the Hispanic community.
but hundreds of businesses were closed down in fear of spreading the disease.
It's a study showing 16,000 restaurants nationwide have already closed permanently because of the pandemic.
Those outbreaks right now never really reduced the number of cases substantially.
It's spreading. That's not really a surprise. What we don't know.
Yes, COVID-19 was a difficult and dark era. But as California pushed through the pandemic, Christopher and his team managed to adapt, survive, and provide the community with some much-needed sustenance. As a result, word spread, and it gave the business the big boom it deserved.
I believe it's the most useful thing, networking with your community. I think we all can come together and celebrate all the businesses and all the people that have been here forever, contributing to this beautiful town.
If this isn't the sign of a benevolent company, then I don't know the difference between garbanzo beans and chickpeas. Like, I really don't. Can someone please explain that to me, because I'm worried I might be food racist?
Coming right out of the oven, though, is something that also changed with the pandemic. We had a warmer, full, like donuts, 3 beef, 4 chicken, let me get that. So we started making them baked to order.
I gotta say, I taste that Argentinian influence. Is there any sort of other cultures that you bring into this when you go ahead and craft those empanadas? Because I know there's like a couple of Mexican influence as well, right?
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
So we, the chile con carne is one that we brought in. That has more of a Mexican influence. He's done everything from kung pao chicken to a curry one and a locos. What I always say is every culture has their empanada.
And he was right. Every culture does have their own empanadas. The Hebrews with their knishes, the Polish with their pierogies, the Chinese with their dumplings, the Jamaicans with their meat patties, the Americans with their apple turnovers, the Italians with their calzones, the Germans with their strudels, the East Indians with their samosas, the Middle East with their bashak, and the Vietnamese with their lupia. These are just a few of the cousins from around the world that are related to our golden crescents.
So, you have developed filling all over. It is something that, every culture kind of has embedded into their, as far as food for survival, right? A little bread and meat.
So Chris and his family decided to keep the spirit of a worldwide variety by bringing a variety to World Empanadas.
An elderly woman or a young kid that are very picky eaters, you have something for them as well. So you have a big variety. So I can go on the road. I just had a few in a box on the road and I was just like, okay, cool. this is actually nice to have. You can eat a couple beef ones, you have a sweet one, and then you have one for tomorrow, breakfast one or whatever when you get to your place. It's so I try to market it as you have options here.
Do you mind walking us through the process here?
Absolutely, let's go.
Yeah. Come on in, guys.
Right over here, our little ordering hub. So anything from DoorDash, Grubhub, Postmates, we have them coming in from all over. So the different apps here, the different colors here you'll see.
You guys don't fry yours.
No, it's all baked. It's an all vegan dough and it's all baked in the oven.
All vegan.
Yeah, all vegan dough.
When we first entered the kitchen to see how these golden crescents were made, Bryan and I were impressed by how organized and clean Christopher and his team kept the whole operation. It really reminded me about how being passionate through your work can really make miracles happen, especially with a product in high demand.
Spicy tomatillo green salsa as well. We do have a mint chutney for our newest empanada, which is the samosa one. A lot of people like that. Then our pasta condiments, and then our salad dressing as well. So we also have systems in place where it's easy flow, a low labor, just like quick. It's very, very simple to get some of these things out. What we call them at this point is take and bake. You can grab these, put them in a box, take them home and bake them yourself.
Outside of it, is that a custom made?
Yeah, mold, dye, if you will. Yes, from Argentina. They custom made it. I think they laser do it. And you can ask for anything on there.
Really?
Word-wise.
Wow.
Oh yeah, everything's sourced from there. They don't make...
As we continued through the tour, I noticed how everyone working there really did feel like his family. From the Big Papa himself scurrying from one section to another, keeping everything afloat, to the talented ladies working the molds in the back, and every worker that cared for each tray like God for his forests. It just filled me with such awe to be lucky enough that we got to witness an Argentinian-Mexican business running like a well-oiled machine.
Utilizing that product, we drop those down as called a system called FIFO, first in, first out. So we'll drop them down, we'll refill the empty spots per flavor with new ones for the day. In the afternoon, by the time we get here in the morning, everything's defrosted, ready to go.
There's a lot of responsibilities here. What sort of caliber performance are you looking for whenever you have new hires?
Why? What are you looking for, a job?
No, I'm just asking.
How many people do you think you would have to come through here to clear your guys' freezers? What type of order? How many is there right now?
Susie, ¿cuánta cantidad podemos guardar aquí en este lugar de empanadas? 10,000.
10,000 empanadas? Hold on a second. Each empanada weighs about 4 ounces. So that's about 40,000 ounces, which equals to about 2,500 pounds. Do the math. That's the weight of 1 black rhinoceros, 2 easy-go golf carts, or 10 Macho Men Randy Savages.
Oh yeah.
Excellent.
We do a little bit of wholesale stuff as well. So we have some empanadas stacked in here, ready to go.
What's your guys' output on a daily basis, I guess? Do you guys have a quota?
Let's see. As I mentioned, we used to be hitting 1,000, but anything over 1,000 is really the goal.
Wrapping up the tour, it was clear to me and Bryan that the level of professionalism was only paralleled by their endless compassion and support for each other. When you step up to order, you're not just asking for a meal, you're asking for a whole family to put their skills together to bake you an experience you won't soon
How does
forget.
it feel to essentially have the one-stop shop for authentic, real food?
It's really an honor. I think we fell and found the spot in a good time. First of all, shout out to my parents for, getting here, finding and establishing themselves very early on. To be able to have a business in it is just amazing, especially being Latinos. Kind of have it here as a staple of Burbank, like the Talleyrand's or even the Portos of Burbank. We want to strive to be that because we had the opportunity, we persevered.
What are the takeaways you're hoping other businessmen and women in this area can take from your page?
We are the majority now, so get out there and just make those moves, start somewhere. Resources. A little more of some culture would help bring people together a little more. We're so divided, it's like lacking that flavor here. If you're in LA and you're standing still, you're losing.
I can easily say after my experience, World Empanadas is the best around. But don't take my word for it. We got to speak with 2 of his customers while they were waiting for their orders outside.
Customer service is great. Everything comes out quick, and if there's something wrong with it or you don't like it, they'll replace it, no questions asked.
They have a variety of flavors, which they don't in other places.
Sure. If you want good empanadas, you go to World Empanadas right here in Burbank off of Magnolia Boulevard. You can't get quality service ingredients like this. This has been an amazing treat. I want to thank Christopher Hirtz, his whole team, everybody from the Big Papa to all the workers inside, the ladies folding in the back, you know what it is. World Empanadas in Burbank off of Magnolia. Great food, great customers, great vibes, and amazing empanadas. Ingredients, you have to try them.
It's not Empanada World and it's not World of Empanadas. It's we, World Empanadas. We are empanadas.
We indeed.
Hell yeah, bro.
On an earth filled with tough people and even tougher decisions, it's easy to lose sight of what truly matters in life. And while these empanadas do have the potential to make love go round, the answer to world peace isn't in the filling of an unclosed, savory pastry. It's in the feeling of sharing sincere gratitude for the people around you on this beautiful blue ball. If we can understand this, well, we can understand anything that life throws at us.
This program was made possible by
Congratulations.
Thank you all.
and